Hello and welcome to another awkward CGI-filled episode of This Ain't No Game. I'm Ryan Davis, and this week's made-for-TV looking feature is Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the simply awful sequel to Paul W.S. Anderson's Mortal Kombat movie. Now, the first Mortal Kombat movie wasn't high art, but it was a decent popcorn flick that didn't take itself too seriously and was stocked with nudging, knowing references to the games. You could certainly do worse, which is exactly what they did with Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Even by the relatively modest standards set by its predecessor, Annihilation is an abject train wreck with a deeply inessential plot, limp and lengthy fighting sequences, shamelessly pandering and needless character appearances, and quite possibly the most embarrassing CG special effects I've seen in any movie ever. Annihilation picks up right where Mortal Kombat left off, and it wastes no time establishing the new threat against Liu Kang and friends with Shao Kahn, a shouty, meat-headed, other-dimensional warlord intent on merging his world with our own. Despite looking like a thick-necked thug from a Sylvester Stallone movie, which is fitting, seeing as actor Brian Thompson played a thick-necked thug in Cobra, Shao Kahn shows that he means business by immediately murdering Johnny Cage. The movie basically takes care of all of its plot and character development and motivation in the first 30 seconds or so, leaving the rest of Annihilation's mercifully brief 83-minute runtime wide open for random-ass fight scenes and truly terrible special effects. Now, the biggest concern for Mortal Kombat Annihilation seems to be cramming as many Mortal Kombat fighters into its running time as possible. This leads to an extended cast of ridiculously costumed primary characters, though it doesn't always leave time for proper introductions. Characters will repeatedly show up, say their name, get in a fight, and then disappear. Never to be heard from again. There are some conspicuous name drops, though sometimes you don't even get a name, which can get confusing when the movie starts throwing Mortal Kombat's menagerie of obscure and interchangeable ninjas at you. Mortal Kombat Annihilation's naked pandering might have been easier to ignore if there was something else worthwhile to latch onto. There's lots of fighting, but there's nothing actually interesting about the fight choreography, bearing very few of the hallmarks of a Mortal Kombat fight. What really makes Annihilation feel half-assed, though, are all the cut-rate special effects. Now, don't get me wrong, the sets and the costumes look plenty cheap, but it's the horrible compositing and unfinished-looking CG creatures that make it hard to believe that this movie was actually released commercially in movie theaters and then reproduced on DVDs. Remember the Goro puppet from the first MK? I'm pretty sure that was more sophisticated and cost more to produce than all of the CG effects in Annihilation combined. At one point, Liu Kang looks for guidance from Nightwolf, who in turn tells Liu about animalities. This leads to what is probably the most ambitious and also the worst CG in the movie. But don't take my word for it. Instead, enjoy this montage of Mortal Kombat Annihilation's embarrassing special effects highlights and see for yourself. In addition to the production values, Mortal Kombat Annihilation also has the cast of a made-for-basic cable sci-fi movie. Save for the actors who play Liu Kang and Katana, all the returning characters have been recast, usually for the worst. And most of the new characters are played by American gladiators, soap stars, stuntmen, models, basically anyone but actual actors.
You've all made me very proud.
I wouldn't say that I mind James Remar as Raiden, though his furrowed brow seriousness is indicative of Annihilation's lack of a sense of humor. This movie's so bad, it's not even unintentionally funny. Well, okay, except for the part where the guy who plays Sub-Zero kind of looks like Justin Long.
You killed my older brother.
Now, I get that neither the filmmakers nor the people interested in seeing a Mortal Kombat movie are expecting high cinema. I mean, MK's got a pretty well-established mythos, but it basically comes down to a mishmash of mystical kung fu and sci-fi nonsense, plus dudes getting murdered in graphic, ridiculous ways. With most video game movies comes some sense that while they're definitely looking to please fans, they're also trying to make movies that a regular moviegoer might actually see. It's something that's completely absent in Annihilation, though it's so lazy and sloppy with the Mortal Kombat mythology that it's unsuitable for fans either. This movie seems intent on squandering any shred of goodwill that the first movie might have built up with fans of the game and moviegoers alike, and it's almost impressive how successful it is.
Fight from the inside. It's the fire inside of you.
And that's going to do it for this week's edition of This Ain't No Game. I'm Ryan Davis, reminding you that even Shao Kahn gets yelled at by his dad.
Father, how can this be?
I warned you there would be consequences for breaking the sacred rules.
I did not expect this.
Must I do everything for you?
Ha 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 ha!